You can live a better life if you master your emotions. Emotions influence the quality of your life in numerous ways. Your emotions can induce ecstasy or tranquility. On the other hand, negative emotions such as shame and fear can completely ruin your day if you cannot control them. Because we evolved in a harsh and perilous environment, we are hardwired with negative thoughts and emotions. Fear and anxiety were programmed into our brains to ensure our survival. Literally, they were a matter of life and death. Consider the fear of rejection, for instance. It can render you incapacitated, causing you to obsess over how you appear to others or to follow unhealthy trends simply because everyone else is. In the distant past, however, exclusion from a community could have been fatal, depriving the pariah of assistance with food collection and protection from predators. The world is significantly safer now, but the fear of rejection remains. Therefore, you must learn to coexist with it. We will now examine how to comprehend emotions, their origins, and how to begin managing and even mastering them to avoid destructive patterns. Part 1. Your ego and your pride. As with physical pain, negative emotions serve to alert us that something is wrong. However, they can also exert a strong influence over us. Your ego is essentially the same as your pride and is intrinsically linked to your sense of self. Your identity is not a tangible entity, but rather something you've constructed. Everyone discovers their identity through their possessions, relationships, gender, and religious beliefs, and they tell a story about who they are and why they matter. Our egos are formed by a self-centered story, and as a result, they are never satisfied. They urge us to increase our self-esteem by feeling superior to others. Then, when someone threatens that self-image, we become incapable of handling it. Breaking free of this can make you happier and prevent you from stewing in resentment. The first and most effective step is to recognize that your ego is creating a story in your mind. The greater your understanding of its tricks, the less influence it has over you. Part 2. Your emotions are not who you are. We all consider our emotions to be fundamental to our being. We're either angry, happy, or sad. However, your emotions are not a permanent component of your being. You cannot always be happy or sad. This is both bad and good news, as both your happiness and sadness will pass. Negative emotions do not make one a bad person. In fact, negative emotions can be beneficial because they provide clues about what's going on inside, an opportunity for self-reflection. Possibly your anger stems from unresolved trauma or a buildup of negative emotions, such as resentment over a past wrong. Fear may indicate that you have departed from your comfort zone. This zone, however, is a stagnant place where you do not try new things or take risks. This is a sign that you should challenge yourself, whether it's opening the business you've always envisioned or something more straightforward like applying for a new job or acquiring a new skill. Fear can contribute to procrastination. People avoid undertaking a task because they believe it is too difficult and are afraid of failing. There are consequences in the real world for ignoring the issues that your emotions raise. Procrastination can prevent you from achieving many worthwhile goals that are within easy reach. This demonstrates the utility of emotions. Do not fixate on them or feel guilty for possessing them. You are not angry or disappointed. You are simply experiencing these fleeting emotions. Recognizing this allows you to step back from your emotions and evaluate them objectively. If you do not focus on your emotions or accept them as a fundamental aspect of your identity, they lose some of their potency. Consider them as clothing. Although you wear them, they are not you. You will change them in the future. 3. Your problems are not real. You could sit down right now and write a lengthy list of your problems, some of which are more distressing than others. It is essential to remember, however, that none of these situations are inherently painful. They are neutral facts about the world that simply exist. The issue is your presumption about how things ought to be, which can be extremely painful. These are your beliefs regarding the requirements for happiness. While you cannot change a great number of things, you can change your expectations and beliefs about how the world should be. If you don't expect to always have coffee when you want it, that other people will always treat you well, or that you'll always be healthy and live a long life, you'll avoid a great deal of suffering. Certainly, a long life is desirable, but not everyone enjoys one. In other words, life events have no significance until they are interpreted. You determine whether they are good or bad based on your beliefs, and then your emotions reflect this evaluation. That does not mean you should feel neither sadness nor joy. However, you can recognize that these emotions are the result of your beliefs and expectations. When you worry about discomfort and negative emotions, you only exacerbate them. This is ineffective and will only serve to make you feel worse. Complaining will not affect any change. Try adjusting your expectations instead. 4. Write things down. A blank sheet of paper and a pen could be the secret weapon you've been searching for to manage your emotions. We have previously discussed taking a step back from one's emotions in order to think more clearly about them and lessen their intensity. That sounds fantastic, but how can you accomplish it? One simple method is to jot them down. Why not try out this drill? Every day for a week, document your emotions. Take some time to reflect on your writing afterwards. Start by determining why you feel this way. Would it make a difference if you had a different perspective or if you changed your beliefs? Perhaps there is something else you could alter, such as spending less time watching depressing news reports. Consider how each of your emotions eventually disappeared. What improved your condition? Perhaps it was focusing on something else or aiding another individual. Once you have determined the source of each of your emotions, you may need to write again. For instance, spend some time documenting your strengths and accomplishments. Create 50 goals, even if they are small ones like doing the dishes or waking up on time. Oftentimes, we are overly critical of ourselves and refuse to acknowledge our accomplishments, so it is important to write them down. You could also collect your accomplishments in a self-esteem jar over time. Write each accomplishment on a colorful strip of paper and place them in a clear jar. Keep the jar in a visible location. Your jar will fill with color over time, serving as a physical reminder that every day is filled with small victories. Performing the exercise alone won't make your problems disappear, but seeing them on paper can help you release your anxiety. Then modify what you can and accept what you can and accept what you cannot. 5. Preparing your mind. The way you think has a significant impact on the development of positive or negative emotions. Consequently, altering your worldview can have a significant impact on your day-to-day state of mind. Visualization is a useful tool for this purpose. Imagining scenarios vividly can fool the subconscious mind, leading to a change in emotions. You may visualize a tranquil scene or yourself confidently accomplishing a task. Words are another way to engage the subconscious. What you say and how you feel are intertwined, so stop using doubtful, uncertain language and replace it with something more positive. Say, "I will," instead of "maybe." Create positive statements about yourself. When you repeatedly tell yourself positive statements, your subconscious begins to adopt that belief. Observe the difference after 5 minutes of daily practice combined with visualization for at least 1 month. Identify a positive emotion you wish to experience more of. Then use these techniques to get your brain to feeling that emotion. Utilize positive affirmations and visualization to reinforce the emotion. And avoid placing undue stress on yourself. Take small steps. You will not achieve all of your emotional objectives overnight. 6. Mind your body. Feelings are not only associated with words. Taking care of your emotions includes caring for your body. A study found that the majority of people who reported anxiety and depression were also sleep-deprived. Another study found that insufficient sleep increased the risk of mortality. You've almost certainly noticed that adequate sleep makes you feel better physically and emotionally. Take sleep seriously. In addition to establishing a regular bedtime, you may wish to experiment with blackout curtains to improve your sleeping environment. Also, be wary of excessive reading on electronic devices before bed, as this can impair sleep quality. Keeping active is also essential. According to research, regular exercise can have the same effect as antidepressant medications on your mood. It can also prevent depression from returning. It should not come as a surprise that people who exercise tend to be healthier and live longer, sometimes dramatically so. What may surprise you is that a rigorous routine is not necessary to make a significant difference. A small amount of regular daily exercise, such as walking, can be extremely beneficial. Even breathing patterns can have an effect. Deep or slow breathing exercises can alleviate stress and produce a calming effect. Your emotions are in harmony with your physical self, so keep your physical self in tune as well. 7. In conclusion, there is no magic pill that will make you always feel happy. Following these recommendations will not prevent you from ever feeling sadness or anger. And as we've just discussed, that wouldn't even be a good thing, since you need negative emotions to alert you when a problem exists. Nonetheless, you do not have to be at the mercy of your emotions. There are concrete steps you can take to avoid dwelling on the negative. Remember, your emotions are not you. Unhealthy expectations can generate unwarranted negative feelings, and analyzing your emotions from a mental distance can provide valuable perspective. If you set your thoughts on a healthy path and keep your body in check, your emotions can once again serve as useful tools. Thank you all so much for watching. We love and appreciate you all. We hope you can like and subscribe and help our new channel grow. Have an amazing day.